What's up? I just got caught another video. I must have had 20 videos cut this week over 15 hours. Now it's so great, since I know nothing, then why are they doing this? Well, they cut anything that seems to run to the matrix patterns. Certain things you say, certain things you type before you send out the video. Certain words you say. They were talking about Ron Marshall. I understood Ron Mitchell. So I ended up doing the count on both of them. On Ron Mitchell and on Ron Marshall. On Ron Marshall, I get 420, which is 6. On Ron Mitchell, I get 365, which is 5. 3, 6, and 5. F, E, and C. A Seth. The total is 14, which is the N. So now we're going to have to do it F, E, C, and N. You see, I have to read it in my way. It says N, C, North Carolina, electronic, something. I know it's North Carolina. I know there's something there. I know there's a connection. There's connections all over the world, so it doesn't really matter what I say. The biggest connections are in the Baltic. 365 for Ron Mitchell is the 365 days of the year, and the 0.25, oh, I just had a thought. The 0.25, that's you thinking, going up and down. That's it. It goes through the strands. They get moved. The energy of your thoughts. The next number is 77.4, which is Christ, of ABCD, which is the total of the 10 worlds, when Ron Mitchell has 786, and that's the same thing as Mr. TACPAN, 7286. Ron Mitchell has 129, which is the 12th letter, which is the Queen, while Ron Marshall has 1, 3, and 5, which is A and C, which only creates the B. One creates the B9 or 9, 11, 9, 10, 11, 12, which is the 2 dice. The other one only creates the center, the connection of the 2 dice. Okay? So it's higher in simple gematria, but it's lower and more simple in the rest. And 786 says a higher God. Ron Mitchell has 774, which is a lower God. Why do I say that? Because 7286 between the 2 numbers. 36 is the creation of 1 angel. 42 is 420, which is 7 by 6. Number 13, 420. That's Ron Marshall. This is higher than a person that's on earth. The 5, 13, 21, 5, 3, 6 is the lower one, which matches the number of days in a year in the positive laws. And the other one is 5, 9, 3. 5, 9, 3 is the perfect of the E, and the other one is 3, 6, 5, 30, 90, and the other one is 27, 135, which is the ace. The ace birth. Between the 2 names it says the ace birth, but the Ron Marshall is higher. If you use the numbers together, it says the Baron, like the Red Baron. That's it for now. What I'm going to get to next is, have you ever thought, do you ever think? Because if you think, you're relying on something. And the word to rely, religion, to me it's the same thing. You're basing it in judgment on something that's like Rubik's Cube. It is or it isn't. It's there or it's not. It adds up or it doesn't. You're basically in the same system. This is the system we live on. You see this over here? Can you imagine if it was all the way around and all this was a train moving us to day and night? Oh, excuse me, we're going to have to go out this way. Oh, got to see the moon. Oh, it's the night sky. It's the day sky. Do we ever really get to see the true sky? So y'all think we're a planet Earth sitting here in the middle of the sky. We got one moon, and we're coming into a planetary alignment, and all of a sudden there's a red and yellow star, sun, and we have planets that are called Venus sun and Uranus sun. Don't you see that our sun is not yellow? Don't you see the inconsistencies in the blue sky? You can't see. And what you do see, your eyes can't see any further. You ever see what the Statue of Liberty looks like? Well, take her hat, put something in the middle, and put islands all around that. She's just turning her hat around. We're going around and around and around. It says we work for her. It's always saying hell, L, L, L. The L's create the swastika. We, doesn't matter who you are, forget about religion for now. Just forget it. Just remember the basic thoughts. It takes all of us together in order to survive. If we go against each other, we're like bulls and we'll knock each other in the heads till we poke out the eyes. So we're all relying on something. So then we get together, they call it a church. A reunion place to make prayers upon somebody who never wrote a book, and 10 different guys wrote a book. Him and John were in the manger together as little children, and apparently they don't know which child it was. Was it John or was it Jesus? Who came out of that manger? Manger, stranger, who showed up with the baby? When did the baby show up? What was it like back then about gossip? Did she speak too early? Or was it written after? Because they really don't know the time of birth. And apparently the Star of Bethlehem passed 3 years ago. Which means at this time, and where we're in, it's not the birth. It's the birth man who's come to the age. How old is this Ron Marshall? He must be over 50, 49 at the least, and no older than 55, because then he's at the passage gates and he can't be there. Otherwise, it should have happened a couple of years ago. For those of you who think we're in the year 2012, that's great. I don't. The Jewish calendar says 5773, which means yours should be in 2015, because according to the dice, numbers on the dice, nothing comes into the fact. For Jesus especially, if his number is 33, it's 303 and nothing less, nothing more. Or it's 505. 303 makes it the 0, meaning he's born in 3 BC, making this 2015. Who read the Mayan scripts? Was it coming 3 years early or 3 years later? As Jesus showed up 3 years before, now Nibiru shows up in Planet X. Are they planets? Or are they transformers? Do they have to let this natural element of what's going to happen to this earth happen, if it does at all? And I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping it does, because this is what Mr. Takpans is all about. Bringing the past into the future and seeing that the pattern still goes on for him. Because for me, and for me alone, I've seen things, not things with my eyes, but in my work, that have brought my belief greater, higher, stronger than ever before. And it doesn't matter how much more I believe, I still have to keep picking out one piece at a time until I find something. And as I've done in a previous cassette, there's a game of roulette, and on the roulette it says orphelin on one of the roulettes online. So you go to one of the roulettes online and you look for where the wheel says orphelin, orphelin. Those numbers and that combinations will equal 5775. That's the year it will be in 2 years. So for me, everything completely transformation ends, and we're out of the system by the year 2000 and the end of the 2014 season. That doesn't mean what's going to happen isn't going to happen. It started happening in 1998, which was actually 2001, in which 2001 was 2004. In which in 2004, when the Twin Towers, in 2001 when the Twin Towers went up on the 254th day, it should have been the 255th day. 2 times 55 makes 110 floors in the Twin Towers. The other way around, you add it up, it comes to 111 or 911 or 7911. But it means nothing to most people, because what am I babbling on about? Well, what is your question? Like I said, I do this in little pieces. I tie them together, I put them on a page, and I just throw them up to the star. Thank you, Explorer and the internet system. Thank you, O heaven of the relying on the cube. Do you want to know what it is all about? It is Rubik's Cube. It is the birth, the creation, the passage, how we came into this world. Look inside of Rubik's Cube. This is it. 6, 6, 6. You take out the third side because the other 6 comes in the thousands now, and that's the creator of the 6. For me, we only have 6. So the 7th day ends up on the 6th day, or the 7th day ends up on the 1st day. And we make 2 days in 1 day, saying maybe there should only be 6 days a week. So 52 weeks, take away 1 day, 365 minus 52 equals 313 days. 313, 131, like I said before, for Ron Marshall. Same numbers. Now, you take away the time of the light, which is only 0.25, but it's got to be taken away from every single day of every single week throughout the whole year. What is 0.25? 0.25, in another actuality, not associating with number 52, is you must take away of 1 whole hour, 0.25, basically remove 20 minutes an hour. We're not even living 24 hours a day. They have made our light into calculating into time and have sped up the seconds. Now, it's only a guess. Am I an atheist? No, I'm Hebrew. I'm Jewish. That's what they gave me when I came in. We're working under the Reish in Hebrew. That's what it's all about. It's the Reish, it's the Reish, it's the race, it's the spider, because everything is the Reish. It's the R, it's the letter R, it's the Hebrew letter R, it's the English letter R, it's the French letter R. It's all about the R, my friends. It's her, who is L, and the Reish makes Rachel. You put the guard dog of God in there, the guard dog of hell. The K letter back to back creates a 6-point star, because that's the system we are in. 6 times 60 degrees, in which 40 of them, 4 of them, 6, 6, 6. Now this one we're not actually in. We're only in 3 of them. We're actually living like this, if you really take a look at it, from here to here. From here to the middle of the cross, back to here. You know what numbers that make? 25,625 of the Mayans. Because this is a 2, but she works from here. Don't you see in the center? That's where she works from. She's the captain. Unless I turned it to here, because it always keeps on turning. Anyways, this is 6. This is 25. You go back and forth, 25, 6, 25. The other thing I wanted to say, if I can remember what I was talking about, is it's 3 and 3. 1, 2, 3. And then you turn it around here and go 1, 2, 3, which makes basically the baseball, 3 and 3. It also makes the roulette board of 36 numbers, although it's 54. So that would mean you would go 1.5 times. 1.5 times 36 equals 54. And Rubik's is 54. They don't have 45 in tennis. I have a number that I came up with from 7286, and it says we're playing somehow inside the doghouse of Jupiter. Saturn and Jupiter sitting in a tree, K-I-S-S-I-N-G. First came Pluto, out Uranus, up came the sun from Venus, and out came Mars into the day, and man was all screwed up at the end. Couldn't figure out what to do. He saw yellow, he thought he was playing cool. He says, give me the number 1 on special. But the guy next to him was at the racetrack. He said, give me the 4 yellow on special. But the 4 in horses and the 1 in pool is 1 in 4. AD, the 1 in horse racing, and the 3 in pool. AC. We can use and create all the numbers. Jupiter is definitely in there. Somehow it is exactly like a wristwatch. And we're just like inside this planet, and it opens on certain times, and we see the moon on certain days, and all of a sudden the sky is like so beautiful, and like after that it's so dark because they can't get the same light as the universe. So we only get to see it at certain times. They put it on a calendar. You look at the calendar and it says, a new moon. Who? Of course it's a new moon. They probably shined it up and threw it back up there. Bring that moon up! How far can we see with a naked eye? Have you ever really looked at that lady in New York, the Statue of Liberty? Her hat, the glasses over here, the rotation that it can make turning around. You think we're on planet Earth? We could be. I don't think so. And I'm thinking there's something that's really weird. It's like God can like holograph us all out of here and zap us onto the real Earth, which is just behind the Iron Curtain over there. I think the Russians are protecting it for us. Where was I? There's so many things. On Monopoly, and I've showed this before, let me make a square. On Monopoly, if you start over here in this corner and go all the way around, you'll have 40. If you start in this corner and go around, you'll have 48. But if you go start over here and go all the way up to the corner, it's 13. And you keep going all the way around and down, and then over to here, in this spot, you go all the way up, all the way around into this spot, and up and all the way around into this spot. And by the 4th year, you have a leap year. All I tell you is all kinds of crazies in and out to look at things. You cannot knock anything out, not even scientifically. Even 1 and 1 has its own destination when they're placed upon each other. They become 2, but in the middle of a core, they work as 1. Turn, and then it's around it, and they turn. It's called time. Where else? Where am I? I am starved. What do I like? Everything. What do I think this world needs? Better communication and understanding what communication means. What do I think has to be done with money? We're going to leave that for another date. All I know is I'm hoping something, hoping the Hopi Indians. You want to see something funny? If you don't think I think about the Mayans, this is one of my first pictures. All thinking about the Mayan. You see down there the Pontiac image from the Hopi Indians. Everything's about speed. We're walking just over water, and different ways to look at a diamond. A diamond with 4 edges. And then I've got those. The best picture is behind me. Where is it? You see the guy with the blue mouth? Okay, see that guy with the blue mouth? Well, that guy, he is the Mayan man. He's sitting, he's leaning back, and he's relaxed. So all the birds are what we might see. Raphael, 7286, and the constellation of Pegasus, and the coming of the new time. Guess what, my friends? It's the 9th today. Right? It's the 9th. Wow, it's Sunday the 9th, 12:54, Rubik's Cube, Passage of the Queen, A.M., Amen, the Almond time, the Almond Brothers. We should start feeling this on the 18th of this month. In 9 more days, we will start feeling the effects. I don't care what anybody says. In 9 more days, you start feeling the effects. And the only reason I say this is if I'm wrong, that's fine. But now that you might be aware that maybe there will be effects, well then, the more you're ready for it. And it's very simple. You like, the way I believe it, listening to what everybody else has said, I just believe all of a sudden, you're going to have a smile on your face for absolutely no reason at all. If that happens, that's the beginning. Things cannot be changed, but we must go slow. We must let it go. If we're losing everything, the toughest things in our life, I'm lucky I'm not, I don't know what to say. But I'm praying that in the new world, all they say to you, man, is, here's food stamps. Come shopping for free. Somehow, if we would stop abusing, maybe it'd be a lot easier to be able to get things. And secondly, I'm not going to get into the things I don't like war, cheating, shit like that. Not my style. Raphael, 7286 on a constellation of Pegasus. Oh, I hope she comes for me, baby. Come on, Pegasus, please, please, please. At least in my dreams tonight. Pegasus is my old girlfriend. You want to see what she looks like? I had to put her to sleep for a couple of years. She turned out like this. This is my cousin, Pegasus. Hey, Pegasus, how you doing? Mr. Tackpans is up on the wall. You think we should leave him? I hear you. Yeah, nobody else could. I know. It's just between me and you, right? Oh, you don't like that I think they might think I'm crazy? Thank you. Have a nice evening.